The moment the first roar echoed across the Pride lands, history began rewriting itself, because this was not just another battle, it was the turning of an age. Kings rise believing they are chosen forever. Kings fall realizing power was never truly theirs. But legends remain, carved into the land, whispered by the wind, and remembered long after blood has faded from the dust. Shay. This is the story of how greatness is tested, how thrones are never permanent, and how the true rulers of the Pride lands are not those who win, but those who are remembered. Long before the clash of claws and the thunder of roaring voices, the land stood silent, watching. The rocks remembered every ruler who had stood upon them, every promise made, every oath broken. Beneath the vast sky, Lion Kings walked toward destiny, each convinced his reign would be eternal. One carried wisdom shaped by loss, another carried ambition sharpened by betrayal, and another carried fire born from the desire to be seen, feared, and obeyed. They did not see themselves as temporary. No king ever does. The first confrontation came without warning. A roar that split the air and sent fear racing through every creature hiding in the grass. It was the sound of challenge, of dominance demanded, of a crown questioned. Kings do not ask permission to rule. They take, they defend, and they destroy. Bodies collided with brutal force, strength meeting strength, pride crashing against pride. Dust rose like smoke, turning the battlefield into a shifting storm where only instinct guided movement. Claws tore through fur, teeth snapped inches from throats, and every strike carried the weight of legacy. These kings were not just fighting each other, they were fighting the past, the expectations of ancestors, and the fear of being forgotten. One king fought with patience, every movement deliberate, learned from years of watching others fail. Another attacked with reckless fury, believing speed and terror would secure his place in history. Their roars echoed against the stones, each demanding the land listen to him alone. As the battle spread, more rulers joined the chaos, alliances forming and breaking in moments. Loyalty became a weapon, betrayal a strategy. A king who stood tall seconds before was thrown into the dust, his roar cut short, his crown stolen by force. The Pride lands watched without mercy. The land does not care who rules, only that balance is restored. Blood darkened the ground, marking where kings had fallen. Each stain, a reminder that power is fragile. One ruler rose again after a crushing blow, his body screaming in pain, yet his eyes burned brighter than ever. To fall and rise again was to defy fate itself. Another hesitated, seeing the fallen around him, doubt slipping into his heart. That moment of weakness nearly ended him. More, hesitation is an invitation to die. The clash grew louder, fiercer, as the sun climbed higher, painting the sky in harsh light. Roars turned hoarse, movements slowed, but pride refused to yield. Every king believed the throne was only one strike away. Memories flooded their minds in stolen moments between attacks. Lessons from elders' warnings ignored. Dreams of ruling with honor or ruling through fear. Each king carried a different vision of the future, and the battlefield was where those visions fought to survive. One ruler fought not for glory, but for responsibility. Understanding that leadership meant protecting those who could not fight for themselves. Another fought only to dominate, convinced that fear was the strongest foundation for power. Their collision shook the ground, a meeting of ideologies as much as muscle. As the hours dragged on, exhaustion claimed its price. Kings who once roared with confidence now breathed heavily, blood matting their manes, wounds slowing their steps. Yet none retreated. Retreat meant erasure, and no king enters battle planning to be forgotten. One by one, rulers fell. Some with defiant roars, others in silence, their stories ending where their blood met the dust. The battlefield became a graveyard of ambition. As the sky shifted toward evening, only a few remained standing. The air was thick with pain, loss, and the weight of what had been sacrificed. Two kings faced each other at the center of it all. The last barriers between chaos and order. One represented ruthless strength, a reign built on fear and control. The other carried the scars of compassion, understanding that a king's duty extended beyond himself. They circled slowly, each step heavy, each breath a struggle. The world seemed to fade away, leaving only them and the fate of the Pride Lands hanging between their claws. When they charged, it was with everything they had left. The impact was violent, final, a collision of wills as much as bodies. They fought without restraint, knowing this was the end. Claws struck deep, teeth locked, bodies crashed into stone. Blood flowed freely now, sealing the legend into the land. With a final surge of strength, one king forced the other down. The roar that followed was not triumph, but release, the sound of a war ending. Silence fell across the Pride Lands, broken only by the wind. The victor stood alone, shaking, wounded, surrounded by fallen kings and shattered dreams. He had risen above all others, but the cost was etched into every scar on his body. He looked across the battlefield and understood the truth that only war can teach. Kings rise, believing themselves eternal. Kings fall, realizing power is borrowed. Legends remain, not because they won, but because their choices shaped the world. As night claimed the sky and stars emerged, the circle of life continued its endless turn. New cubs would one day hear this story, not as a tale of victory, but as a lesson. A reminder that greatness is temporary, power is fragile, and only the impact of one's actions survives time. The Pride Lands would heal, grass growing over blood-stained ground, but the memory of this battle would never fade. It would live on in whispers, in warnings, and in the understanding that a true king is not defined by how he but by what he leaves behind when he falls.